All right, everybody, we are on question number 19. And if you notice that the question, Katie placed the following numbers in order from least to greatest on a number line. Okay? And if you notice, the parameters that they use in the answer choices are between the numbers 1 and 2. Okay? So they need to fall within that range. And we notice that I like to go ahead and write down what would halfway be. 1 and 5/10, wouldn't it? Think of money. What would the middle be? 1.25. Okay? In other words, and where would this one be? Take your time. If we were to go 3/4 of the way between 1 and 2, think of money, and you're only dividing the number 1. It'd be 1 and 75/100. Okay? All right, so if we need to arrange, or if we need to order, my bad for using the vocabulary range, if we need to order these values, I need to put them in a common appearance. In other words, we need to convert them to into one way so we can compare them. And the easiest way to do that is to convert to decimals. Okay? So what I need to do, get my calculator out, I'm going to convert the first one. And remember that the top number, old school, top number gets the house, bone, 2 true. When you get to 8th grade, the top number gets the calculator first. 9 divided by 8. Push enter. And if you notice, you still get a fraction on these calculators. I know. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our menu. We need to convert that to a decimal. So on the menu, if you notice, we need to, what can help us convert it? And we know that it's a number, and we need to do something with that number. Okay, and I'm going to push the number 2. And if you look, when I toggle down to the number 2, it goes straight over to convert to decimal. So it is menu 2-1, menu 2-1. Okay, and you get the answer, but don't forget to press enter. Which gives us 1 and 125 thousandths. Okay? All right, I've got one number. Now I need to do the other, and we're going to continue on. And you can do that I'll work simultaneously. So I'm going to enter pi divided by, and I'm trying to give you some calculator skills as well. This might be a great review for some of you. Okay? And this automatically gave me the decimal, and I'm going to go ahead and round up. 1 and 57/100. Okay? And I'm going to continue on. I need the square root of 3 and the square root of 2. And remember, when you do the square root of a number, this is kind of special because we need to use the yellow portion, which is above the key. And to use any yellow function or any yellow calculation, we need to press the control key first. So control, okay, and then I'm going to push the house, and then I put the number in. Remember, when you're squaring a number, you put the number first, but when you're finding the square root, you put the control, the root sign, okay, and then put the number in. And go ahead and do that for the number 3, which is 1 and 73. I'm not going to write out that entire number. It's not necessary because my numbers aren't that close. Okay? And for the square root of 2, I get 1 and 41/100. Okay, now comes the hard part. I need to order these numbers. Okay? Many times it's easier to go ahead and write them vertically. And remember, on the STAR test, you have so much time that take your time and do it well, and you won't make simple mistakes. Okay. Now, if you notice, these all have 3 numbers. I like to go ahead and make them all 3 numbers. I'm going to add a 0. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare. And remember, I need to go back, and I want the least value to the greatest. So I need to pick my smallest number, the smallest value. Okay? And it's easy because look, I can just compare because all of my 1 values are the same. So I'm going to go over which one, because they all have 3 numbers, because I added those zeros, they're easier to compare, aren't they? Which one is the smallest, 125 or 570? Obviously, this is the first value. And which is the next smallest? Okay, exactly. This would be the second, and I apologize for all my kids making so much noise in the background. All right, and the next one would be 570, and the next one would be 730 because this is the greatest value. Okay, some people like to find the smallest and the biggest or the greatest first, and then number them accordingly. So this is where the hard part comes in. So my first value needs to be, okay, the smallest one is going to be 1 and 125, 9/8. So I know that the 9/8 is going to be somewhere here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in order. This was my first, okay. Then my second was the 1 and 41/100. This is my second. Then on my third will be right here. And then my fourth is this one. And here's what else I'm going to do. I am going to actually write these values in order. And here's why. Then I can just look which one matches my answer choices. Okay? So my first should be 9/8. Then my next in my sequence, this is my smallest value. My next is going to be the square root of 2. And my next is going to be the third, which is pi divided by 2. And my next is going to be the square root of 3. So I never even looked at any of my answer choices. Never even looked. I'm just using my math. I'm using my mind to order these. And I don't want these answer choices to corrupt or to make me think something else. And so what I did is I convert, order, first, second, third, fourth. You might have to put 6 or 7 numbers in order. Who knows? I doubt it, but maybe 4 numbers. And then I put these back here and I reorder my original set that they gave me. So ordering on a number line, did I even need to use this? No. So I'm looking for 9/8 would be my first one. I can eliminate those that start with pi divided by 2. Okay? Now I need to go one step further. The square root of 2 should be next. Automatically, I eliminate those. Now, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread my question, make sure that they are asking from least to greatest. Because they may have been asking from the greatest to the least, right? But it doesn't look like they did that in this instance. The one biggest confusion is that we want to, so for example, actually they didn't do that here. So I think that what I've done here is probably going to be the best explanation for this. Always convert. So step number 1, you always convert when ordering into a common representation. Okay, I always like to talk about it as everything needs to be in decimal form. Okay, if you had somebody, there are certain times you wear a bathing suit, certain times you wear a Sunday dress. You always need to be in the same dress or the same, just like values of numbers, in the same form before you can compare them. Okay? All right, see you in the next one.